National Football Show. Hey, Xander. I just saw, man, that video clip that you guys posted yesterday over at JAKIB Media's Twitter page. Over 10K on it. Way to go, guys. Way to check out Big Sills. I love it. How you doing? Big Sarge. Hey, Big Sills, how many of them quarterbacks did you name will end the season? You ain't having 2 wide receivers with 1,000. Wishful thinking. It's all good. Don't worry. Take the rest of the night off. How you doing? Not happening. So because a guy got his fourth 100-yard receiving game in 30 games, he's going to end the year with 1,000 yards. Okay. The law averages don't even suggest that that's going to happen. Do you understand that? His resume doesn't say that's happening. He's had 2. Get this, he's almost had as many donut games as he's had 100-yard receiving games, DeVonta Smith. Do you know this? He's had almost as many donut games. It's 1,000-yard receiver. Okay. He's almost had as many donut games. No catches. No yards. But he's going to have 1,000, you know. Oh. Poor Jimmy. Don't worry, Vlad. Jimmy be back for the NFC title game. How you done? DeVonta's not our number 1 option. So you draft a guy to be your second team guy. In the first round, too. Woof. Kind of overdrafted then, like I said. So your first round pick is your second dude. Okay. I don't have a problem with that. AJ's a great player. He is. AJ's a great player. Yeah, baby. San Francisco's defense is superior to the Eagles. What are you saying? San Francisco's defense carries that team. Then how come every time Garoppolo doesn't play, they lose? I keep bringing that up. You keep. Jalen's at 29.50. Well, good. He should be a 3,000-yard passer. Technically, the average suggests he barely crosses 100. We'll see. Technically, Tone, he's had 4 100-yard receiving games in 30 games. Technically. By the way, I love Tone. Dak has more talent, though. Dak has more talent. What's your suggestion? Okay. What's your suggestion? Dak has more talent? Where? CeeDee Lamb? DeVonta Smith is better than CeeDee Lamb. I'm sorry. CeeDee Lamb is not better than DeVonta Smith. He'll have more numbers because he's in the 1 role. It's the only reason he'll have more numbers than DeVonta. Smith, yes, what you guys are saying is in the 2 hole. And he's in the 2 role, which means less targets. If Smitty was in Dallas and he was in the 1 hole, he would have 10 times the numbers that CeeDee Lamb would have. DeVonta Smith would be around 1,200 yards right now. He's just in a system where that was like the first game Jalen Hurts was able to really have 2 guys involved since DeVonta's been there. I don't think CeeDee's better. I do not. Xander thinks he is. I don't. I think Jalen Waddle's better. But I don't think CeeDee's better. CeeDee drops the ball. I think DeVonta runs way better routes than CeeDee Lamb. I think CeeDee Lamb runs rounded off routes. I really do. Okay? Look at this guy. Jimmy has 87 touchdowns and 42 picks. How about this? He's 45-19. Put that stat out there. Facts. Bang. Boom. Good night. You can take the rest of the day off. It's good. I don't know if CeeDee's soft. He drops too many critical passes in critical moments. Smith will eat these last 5 games. Bet on it. We'll see. Got the Giants. The Giants defense is pretty good, but there's no way they beat them. There's no way the Giants beat the Eagles, right? There's no way Daniel Jones beats Jalen Hurts again. Can you imagine if that guy loses to Daniel Jones? I will shit on him on Monday. You can bet on it. You can't lose, be 0-2 against Dimes Jones. You can't be. You get $50 million from Big Sills. That ain't working. You better not lose to Dimes Jones again. Oh. Again. It's not like this time. It's again. Oh. I notice everything you say won't happen does so far. Keep it up. Jeremiah, really? Okay. If Hurts loses to Daniel Jones, take him off the MVP list completely. Tone, he ain't losing to that guy. But, hey, you know what, Tone? I'll say this to you. I think Daniel Jones is playing better ball, but it's not good enough. I think the Giants are frauds. I thought they were frauds all year. Look, how about this? Let me tell you who I think, before we get into NFL Coach of the Year, I have a vote for this. Let me give you my assessment of the 2022 New York Giants. I think they're so much better coached. I think the general manager's better. I think the entire environment's better. Once you got rid of that ass-bag Dave Gettleman, once he's out of the building, it's completely been turned around, but not enough. There's still remnants of like bad picks and bad people in the building. They're better defensively. They are. They're not bad, but their wide receiving core has been decimated. Their O-line is okay. I think Barkley's running out of gas a little bit. Okay? I think he's running out of gas a tad. It's a division game, Danny. That's not a cliche. Okay? It's not a cliche, and you're right, but Daniel Jones, he's not terrible this year. He's actually won the NFC Player of the Week award. Oh, by the way, congratulations. He and Michael Vick now, Jalen Hurts and Michael Vick, have a lot more in common. One of the very few players ever to win the NFC Player of the Week award 3 times. Wow. He and Vick. What did Vick win again? Oh, yeah. Nothing. I forgot. Oh, no, I didn't. All them Players of the Week awards and the month and shit, and didn't get Michael Vick anything. But Jalen's better than Michael Vick. You don't think Jalen Hurts today on December 7th, 2022 is a better football player than Michael Vick was? Wait, well, you probably do because you think he's better than Steve Young already. So wait, Jalen's better than Steve Young and Michael Vick. Is this correct? Hurts has 1 Player of the Month and 2 Player of the Weeks. Okay. I thought it was 3 Players of the Week. By the way, it's a tremendous honor. Where's your Super Bowl ring, Sills? Nah, I don't have Super Bowl rings. I have national championship and NFL alumni rings. Yes, better than Vic. Hey, name brand. Who's Lord Brunson? Never heard of him. Let's get to the NFL Coach of the Year award. Here you go. Candidates going into week 14. NFL Coach of the Year candidates. Number 10. Eagles just beat this guy. That's why it's a good win. Mike Vrabel. Love this coach. Mike Vrabel just won a power struggle with the general manager. And the Adams family gave him complete, really, autonomy now of the Tennessee Titans. Number 9, Sean McDermott. Number 1 seed in the AFC. They lose Brian Dable. Josh Allen is on the cusp of potentially winning a Super Bowl. You want to hear something about Sean McDermott? Sean McDermott might actually win a Super Bowl and do something Marv Levy didn't do. By the way, wasn't he in your building as a D coordinator or a defensive line coach or a defensive coach? Wasn't he like a coordinator in Philly? You let that guy out of the building? Interesting. Sean McDermott, 9. Number 8, Jimmy J. Kyle Shanahan, 49ers. The stupidity of the move of Trey Lance, the injury to Trey Lance saved the season. Now, that football team is playing really well. And I'll tell you what Xander said is right. This kid Purdy might be the good stopgap guy until they get him back in the playoffs. Number 7, Brian Dable. You'll play him this week. Imagine this. You got 2 guys that are doing a whale of a job coaching, and you're going to play them in consecutive weeks. Brian Dable's done a nice job with the Giants team. Okay? He's done a really nice job. Number 6, another coach from New York. Robert Saleh, Jets. I said he wasn't the right guy. He may be. He may be the right guy. Dude, stick to Mike White. Mike White threw for 369 yards last week against the Vikings, and they should have won that game. That guy should have caught that ball in the end zone. Okay? He should have caught that football. Mike White put it right on his hands, and he dropped it. Joe Douglas has done a really nice job building this team. They just got an immature guy there in Zach Wilson. They should have beat the Vikings. Xander goes, hey, Xander asked the most incredibly brilliant question. Unfortunately, a dumb answer has to be given. Why would you even think about benching Mike White? Zach Wilson sucks. Because I spent the second pick on him. Ask Howie how that works when I keep shit players on my roster because they're high draft choices. Sorry, Xander. Reality sometimes doesn't coexist when it comes to draft picks. You spent the second pick on Zach Wilson. You have to play him. The same way Trey Lance has to be played in San Francisco. You gave up 3 ones for him. Someone's going to lose their job in San Francisco over that. Someone may lose their job in Green Bay over that. With Jordan Love. I know. Wait, why wouldn't you play the better player? Oh, since when is that? Where does it? Unless the head coach has to go. That's why Vrabel won. That's why Belichick is the head honcho in charge. That's why Pete Carroll's the head honcho in charge in Seattle. The general managers aren't in the way. Look at what your guy did with Howie and with Wentz. They picked wrong. I guarantee you, Doug Peterson and Frank Reich probably wanted to stick with Nick Foles. You know why? They had more in common with him. Foles was the backup. Those two were perennial backups. They connected better with Foles. Foles was a catch away from going to his second straight NFC title game. Do you know how important that catch was? It was a $32 million mistake based on that catch or lack thereof. If Jeffries catches that, Wentz is dealt to the Jags. And Foles stays in Philly. You're not getting rid of a guy who goes to 2 conference title games, Super Bowl MVP, and a chance to go to 2 straight. So you're not doing that. Give a shit who you are. Big Sil's NFL Coach of the Year. Now we're at 5. Andy Reid. Andy just keeps chugging along, doesn't he? No matter where he is. He's a better coach today than he was in Philly. By the way, the guy that's quarterbacking makes him look better too. No getting around it. Look at Tone. Why do people keep falling for Sileo's bait? Just play the game with him, you guys. Hey, Tone. Because some people are just wound a little different. Tone, will you please? You're giving it away. Xander, talk to this guy. Look at LaMichael Smith. Foles. Hey, Foles has a big trophy. It's called an MVP trophy. Come on, Tone. This isn't real, Dan? I don't know what you're talking about. Look at Tone. This isn't real. I've been doing this for 34 years. Vlad, what are you, nuts? Vlad, don't give me more credit than due because I'm not that smart. Fire Lynch? Nick. Hey, Nick. I think John Lynch is a good GM. But, dude, you can't give up 3 1s and bounce the quarterback. And, hey, what if this guy, what's his name, Purdy? What if this guy, Purdy, ends up being good? So Purdy and Jimmy G. And then you got this other guy. So what you going to do? Trey Lance is the 3rd guy in the building and you gave up 3 1s to the Dolphins for him? Someone's losing their gig, dude. JM, thank you. I love Mark Bavaro. Foles has the most important MVP trophy. Boy, amen. Dude, man. And who'd you beat? The guy with 7 of them? I would have to think if I'm Tom Brady, even those losses to Eli Manning, the one to Foles, man, has to aggravate him the most. Because he was made to look like a chump in the whole process. The Philly special, he falls down, and this guy's catching passes. I mean, what was next? He was going to – hey, the only thing that Nick Foles didn't do in that Super Bowl against the Patriots is have a drop kick. Hey, am I right? The only thing Foles didn't do was drop kick. If he would have drop kicked, caught the Philly special, and threw for 357 yards and beat Brady, I'd have went like this. Okay, I'll never watch another game again in the same light. Okay? I'll never watch a game again like that. Number 4, I got Pete Carroll. I think Carroll's done a great job with Geno Smith. I really do, man. Pete's done a super job with that Seahawks team. Number 3, here we go. NFL Coach of the Year candidates heading into Week 14. Where's Sirianni on this list? Mike McDaniel, Dolphins. And he got crushed a little bit by the 49ers. Everyone does, except Philly. Number 2, Paisan Nick Sirianni. I got him here at Eagles. By the way, if Sirianni runs the table, I could see him winning the NFL Coach of the Year award. Kevin O'Connell, Vikings. The only reason I've got the Viking head coach ahead of him is because this is his first year, and they are 10-2. I know Cowboys and Eagles pounded them. I completely understand. I get it. But he's a first-year head coach. Guys like Urban Meyer have attempted it and bombed. You know what I'm saying? That's a good one there, Marcos. Riverboat Ron should be in the conversation. If I had to put him somewhere, it'd be 11. So Riverboat Ron, that's tough to take one of these guys off this list, though. So Vrabel at 10, McDermott at 9, Kyle Shanahan at 8, Brian Dable at 7, Robert Saleh at 6, Jets, Andy Reid 5, Pete Carroll 4, Mike McDaniel, Dolphins 3, Nick Sirianni 2, Eagles, Kevin O'Connell, Vikings 1. Hard for me to put Riverboat Ron in over any one of these guys. But I would say to you that Ron deserves consideration for the Coach of the Year award. He sure does. Name goes, how much of the team's success is Sirianni and how much is Howie? Let's do that. I love when you guys bring topics in here and kind of change it up a little bit. We still have Defensive Player of the Year and also the top 10 picks. I got a suggestion for you for the Eagles pick at number 5. Do you know the Eagles pick at 5 right now in 2023? I got a guy for you. I want you to hear who I think the Eagles should look at number 5. I like that topic. Who gets more credit, Howie Roseman or Nick? Who do you guys think? It's Will freaking Anderson. We need a dominant edge. Hang in there. Who do you think gets more credit for the success of the 11-1 start for the Eagles, Howie or Sirianni? Roseman, Howie. Howie GM of the Year, hands down. Nick. So do you think this is tougher to do? Here's my list of players. Coach him. How many general managers do you think hand over a sheet of 53 guys on it and go, coach my team? All of them? What's harder to do? Take someone's list of players and put it together as a successful team and game plan and motivating. How many years has Howie been in the building? 22? Well, if Howie's so good at it, why didn't he do it every year? If this guy's the best at it, he's the general manager of the year, and he hands the coaching staff a list of his players. Why was he 4-11-1 a couple years ago? You actually think Doug Peterson would have done the same thing with Jalen Hurts that Nick and Shane Steichen have done? I don't. I think Sirianni gets more credit. Howie can go out and do anything he wants, fail at drafting, hit on free agents, make a deal. At the end of the day, coach got to put him in a position to win. Why do you think we're so critical of Jonathan Gannon? Don't let the coaching staff get in the way of winning. That's the biggest deal. Howie can come up with any names he wants. He does every year. Some years are good. Some years are great. Some years suck. What, Howie hasn't had suck-ass years? He has. Howie hired Nick. Great take, Danny. Okay? Howie hired Nick. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Howie hired Nick. Are you sure? Or was it that Jeffrey Lurie? The way I had it, and Xander can back me up on this. When the Colts were looking to deal Wentz, or the Eagles were looking to deal Wentz to the Colts, it was Frank Reich who came on this program. And I go, did you talk to the general manager, the owner of the team first? He goes, I talked to the owner of the Eagles first. Oh. So did you recommend Nick Sirianni to Jeffrey Lurie? He goes, yeah. Go back and listen. We have that actually on tape. Howard Eskin played that on WIP.